Hi everyone, Marvel DC fan here with another First Impressions video, and yeah, we're doing Gotham Knights. I know this is super late, but you can blame Amazon, because they
Yeah,
sent it super late. The game came out, it was like the 21st or something like that?
that is true.
21st, and then,
21st.
and then
10 days ago.
10 days ago. I don't get it, man. Anyway, so, as you can tell, I'm not alone this time. I'm here with Swfte,
Well,
who has,
hi, everyone.
who's the only other person in the Speaking Our crew who has played the game.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah. Originally, I was going to do this video as a giant, collaboration with all of us, like just all of us together talking about the game, but um, uh, the other two are broke, so we can't do that.
Or they don't have a Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or Plus
Right.
or whatever it's called.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But yeah. So I got the game last night, something like that, and yeah. I've only played a little bit of it. I know he's played. You beat the campaign, right?
I did. I beat the campaign.
Okay. So I'm just gonna be, going over what I played so far, which it really isn't much. So,
Hmm.
but yeah. Let's get into some of the positive points I have for Gotham Knights, and I guess you can also chime in too if you feel the same way or
Sure.
whatnot. So,
Yeah.
okay. So as far as control wise, I think it works fine enough. To be honest, it was a little hard to get used to because I've played the Arkham games for so long, so it was kind of hard to fight that muscle memory.
Yeah.
The worst point was
I was.
like grappling because it's L1, which is
Yeah. It was strange for me, like kind of trying to get used to doing that because really that whole game, grappling is like it's like the Arkham games. Like you have to do it all the time.
yeah,
So, and even when you get traversals, which I'm sure we'll get into, you still need to use the grapple gun. It's
yeah,
like it's never going to go away. So it was weird, but I'm used to it at this point. So
yeah.
you get a hold of it.
I think as far as combat wise, I think it's fine overall. I like the idea of having like a special meter. Like you hold
Yeah,
R1 and press like X or square or something like that, you can execute a special move. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah,
It is kind of slow for my taste. I would have liked it to be a little bit more fast paced, especially with
hmm,
like acrobatic characters like Nightwing and Robin and even Batgirl. But
yeah,
yeah, it's like it feels like it just takes so long for the opponent to actually get hit. So I'm just
mm,
mashing the button, waiting for the attacks to execute, and
yeah,
they do execute. It just takes a lot longer than you think it'd be.
yeah. I mean,
um,
in my. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in my experience, I was exactly the same. I think once you start to level up your character, it gets a little bit better. Particularly like that combat system really hinges on the momentum abilities, like holding R1 and clicking another button, like you said. Um, and those are really helpful. The combat is a little slow, but I think like I got used to it. And like I said, as you upgrade your character, it definitely gets smoother and easier to handle. So that was my experience with it.
hmm As far as stealth, I think it's basically the tried and true Arkham formula where it's like triangle is your silent takedown. You also have an ambush takedown, which is kind of like the loud takedown in the Arkham games, but like you're not really doing a silent takedown into a full out knockout. You're basically just doing a very like say you're doing a crime or whatnot, and you do the ambush, and it basically just you know I think it has like an area of effect kind of thing where it'll
Hmm.
if any other thugs are nearby, it'll take them down. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of ideas there which are like they work for the most part, but I think they just need to be like fine-tuned a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's still positive though, like I'd say. Like I didn't
Yeah.
hate playing the game at all. There was no
Yeah.
point where I was ever bored with it or whatnot. So,
Yeah. I
um,
think.
oh, go ahead.
No, go. No, go ahead. I didn't. I wasn't really gonna. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
um,
It wasn't anything like crazy.
really?
No.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Shit.
Oh
Go
God, I'm
ahead.
already ruining the video. Oh God.
Go ahead.
God. Oh man. Oh God.
Yeah.
You remember yet?
No. Oh no. You go with your point.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I was gonna bring up a totally other like aspect of the game that I don't know if you wanted to get into yet, which was level gating.
Oh
It,
yeah.
I don't know if you want to get into that yet or wait for a little bit.
I'm probably was gonna mention it in the negatives section, but um,
Okay.
yeah. As far as other stuff, I think the graphics look pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not Arkham Knight levels, but it's still like it's not a mobile game. I think.
No, I can't believe people were saying that.
Yeah. So it's not a mobile game. Calm down. I think for the cast is okay.
Mm,
I haven't played enough of it to really let them sink into their characters, but like I think most of them are fine except for Red Hood. I'm still bothered by like I love the guy who plays Mr. Negative. I think he's a really good actor. It's just I don't think his voice fits this Red Hood.
yeah. I'll say like I remember you and I were talking about this a little while before the game came out, and I was like, yeah, I really don't like Stephen O. Young's voice as Red Hood. It just doesn't fit, and I still feel that way, but I've kind of gotten used to his voice as that version of Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say. I mean, I would have look. I don't. This is nothing to knock against Stephen O. Young. He's a great actor, but I would have rather had someone else as a Red Hood, and I would have also rather had Red Hood look completely different. I hate his look in this game, and I don't like the suit styles that they gave him either, which is I guess goes into the negatives a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But they just I feel like they were being a little too creative with Red Hood in like a bad sense. Like they were trying to do something that was not totally a good idea, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they just wanted to run with it and see how it went, but I just don't think it paid off well.
Yeah. And as far as story goes, like I'm only I want to say a couple hours in, and like it's interesting, but at the same time, it's not interesting at all.
I know what you're saying.
Like I'm mostly playing it just to see what happens next. I'm not really caring about the whole Langstrom, situation or whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but maybe that'll sway the more I play through the game. But as of right now, it's just like, why are we doing this? What's the what's happening
Yeah,
here?
that plot point kind of like disappears for a while and then comes back really randomly
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point in the story, and it just kind of felt really forced. It was like, oh yeah, that part in the beginning of the game, oh that actually mattered. Like, so yeah, I didn't like the whole direction they took with Langstrom, and you'll know what I talk about by the time you get there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm trying to think of. I like the open world. I think it's overall it's
I'm
massive.
mixed. I'm mixed about it. It is massive. I'm a little mixed. Like, it's weird. We have the biggest Gotham that we've gotten yet in a game, and it's inhabited, yet somehow it still feels empty. To me, I don't feel a sense of life in that city. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just really strange.
It's funny. I found this out by complete accident, but I was just running along the street, seeing, how crowded it was, which to like in the area I wasn't in, like it didn't have a lot of people walking through. But I accidentally hit the square button when I was next to somebody. I just fucking hit 'em.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yep.
Damn
Yep.
Nightwing shit.
There's a lot of TikToks where like people are like running up as Red Hood and they're like, "Oh, that's not Batman." And then Red Hood just pulls out his guns and shoots them. I'm like, "Wow, you can actually do that."
Um, I just found that like you won't kill anybody or whatnot, like or just
No.
knock them to the ground, but it's funny seeing just Gotham's protectors just beating the
Yeah.
shit out of civilians. Um, let's get into negatives because I got some ones to talk about here.
Okay.
The first one is I don't like any of the RPG elements at all.
Yeah, I'm in pretty much agreement with you. I think that there's other RPG games that do it better than Gotham Knights did.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't like RPG games. I've been a vocal supporter of how much I don't like RPG games, but I can tolerate some over others. And like, I tolerate this, but I would have rather it been a story-driven game without the hassle of all the crap that RPGs bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's just a lot of stuff implemented which I like. I just find like isn't really explained all that well. Like you mentioned the level gating, which like for upgrades,
Oh,
really, ooh, that was that was a hard pill to swallow.
yeah.
But also the gear too. Like I just the
I
gear,
don't
the
like
suits
their
and whatnot.
system.
It doesn't work for me
No.
at all.
Like, I love the fact that you can customize your suit. Like, if you have a specific set of gear, you can kind of customize the symbol in like three different variants, or like the cowl. They should have just kept that and just given us a suit.
Hmm.
Like, give us one suit, we can change the color and we can change the aspects of it, but like, don't make it to be gear. And that's one thing I hate about RPGs is the constant grind, because if you don't have the great gear, you're not going to have a great time playing the game. It's like terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of suits, a lot of them are really awful. I was looking
Yeah, I don't.
through all
Yeah,
of them, and like, there's a lot of terrible ones for each
yeah,
character.
there is.
There's
There
very,
is.
and I don't have the founders pack at all yet, so
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to play with the Jim Lee outfits, which do look great.
They're great. They are great.
But like, there was a lot of them, like even just for Nightwing, which a lot of my playtime was with. Just like his selection was pretty terrible, and
Yeah,
I don't know why they went with a lot of suits like that. If they just stuck to more like costumes from the comics, that would have been like better. So
yeah,
like a '90s Nightwing would have been really cool, and like the '70s disco outfit would have been a great like add-on. But like, there's
yeah,
just a lot of like uh, armor segments on like just places that don't really need to be there, and a lot of just
yeah,
really terrible haircuts and masks, and it just all looks like crap. So
yeah. Yeah, like my entire campaign playthrough was with Nightwing. I didn't switch characters once,
mhm.
and that was just out of pure like. I just every time I booted up the game, I was like, I'm enjoying playing as Nightwing, so I'm going to keep going. And I stayed in the Jim Lee suit basically the whole time
Mhm.
because I didn't really enjoy the other ones. There was like give or take two or three that like I liked, or I had to use because of the leveling, which is another RPG thing that I hate. Um, but yeah, most of my time was in the Jim Lee suit,
Mhm. Yeah.
so it says a
um
lot about the game
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
design choices.
Yeah, I'd another disappointing thing for me was the music. Like nothing really
Yeah,
like, because the thing I love about the Arkham games, even like Origins and whatnot, is that there's these pieces that stick out in your head while you're playing, and I just didn't get anything from Gotham Knights. It was just a whole lot of
me neither.
generic stock superhero sounds, and yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't work for me. Um,
there's
oh no, go
no. Go ahead.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that every time you do a one of the like bat cycle races, there's always this music that comes on. It's the same crap every time. It's like this techno that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it gets annoying after a while. So I started doing this thing. You know that song on TikTok. It's like, did Chuck Manor, born in 1964. And I just kept singing that over and over again. And my brother's like, you need help. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's the only damn song in the game. So it's like that. Like, I agree with you. It's like when you think of the Arkham games, you think of Arkham City's theme or the Origins theme, the Christmas theme style, because they're iconic in a way and they get in your head. But this game just didn't have anything unique in that aspect.
No. Um. Uh. One issue for me that really like, I guess this is just a me thing, but navigating the menus felt like a real pain in the ass. And I'm sure it's
Yeah.
going to get easier the more I keep playing it, but it's like holding down the touchpad brings up the map, but just touching it
Oh
allows you to
yeah.
select the tasks and whatnot.
I
And
I didn't like that.
no,
Like I felt like if they were just going to do it, just make me go onto the whole entire menu thing or the whole navigation rather than having two separate things. I get why they would do it, but it's like for me as like the kind of player I am, I would never do that.
yeah. And
Um, what was I going to say? Crap. Um, oh, another negative. You want me to go on to another point here?
yeah, go ahead.
Um, there is no extra saves. You can't play multiple games as different characters unless you want like your entire game save to be erased and redone.
That's bad.
I was, and they have a new game plus thing, but that's it. And it kind of kicks up the leveling to 40 instead of 30, the max level.
Hmm.
But that's the only difference. The enemies are just a little bit more tedious, but if you level up, you're fine. But it's like the New Game Plus. That's the problem with New Game Plus in RPGs too. Is nothing really changes. It's just like more BS level gating,
Mm-hmm.
really. But yeah, it was like even games that have nothing to do with Batman do that. I mean, Spider-Man PS4 did that great. You had more saves in that game than you did in any of the Arkham games. It's like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't they do? It's like it should be standard now for games to have multiple saves. Assassin's Creed does it.
At least like up to 5 saves is enough.
Yeah,
Just so
absolutely.
like if I want to play through the game again just slightly differently, or just have
Yeah,
maybe I want to do a Red Hood run on just on a completely separate save, like I can
right.
just do
Like
that.
I was like, oh well, I want to replay the story eventually or parts of it and use Batgirl instead of Nightwing or what have you.
Yeah.
And I can't do that
No.
unless I play New Game Plus, and then even that it's only like 2 saves.
Yeah. Um, One thing I want to mention, which isn't really an issue for me, but I know a lot of people were really upset about this. So the game runs at 30 frames per second. It's not 60,
No,
but
no, I didn't
like
care.
I don't mind the fact that it's 30, but I would have at least liked an option for better performance. Like
Yeah, I
if
don't like. It doesn't make a difference to me. I know why people were upset about it, um, but like, I haven't had any performance issues really.
no.
Um, so I don't know if it might be an individual thing. It just happens on certain people's stuff than it does others. I don't know,
Mm,
but I haven't had any. Give or take a few times, the frame rate dropped like a couple times, but a lot of the people complaining about it have said that it's happened a lot to them.
yeah,
So
I haven't had any real major issues so far. I've had some frame rate drops and some cutscenes stutter. Like the opening cutscene stuttered for me.
that
So
sucks.
that was weird, but nothing like game breaking has happened yet. So
Right.
if it does, I'll let everyone know. But but as of right now, it's the game ran completely fine, no issues for me. So but yeah, I would have liked at least like just an option to make it 60 frames, or if people wanted that. But 30 frames
Yeah.
is fine by me. It's like it's whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have any last issues you want to mention before we leave? Because I think
Um,
I don't have much left.
just one, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this. First off, it's not worth $90 for a deluxe edition. Um,
No.
this game just has too many issues at launch and not enough to get sales to go up. Like, I mean,
Mm.
I am enjoying the game. I enjoyed the story. I enjoy playing it. And like even the grindy stuff, I'm all right with it. I would have gone without it, but I'm dealing with it fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's like it costs. It's more expensive to buy the Visionary pack separate from the deluxe edition than it is to buy it with it. It's $90, or is it? I don't know. Wait,
I think.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It costs it altogether. It costs $95 without getting the deluxe edition because they bumped it up to $25 in PlayStation Store, which is insane for a thing that I didn't really notice boosted my gear at all,
Mm-hmm.
and only includes one colorway that I never use, and the Jim Lee suits. And the Jim Lee suits, don't get me wrong, they're cool, but like they're not worth $25. They're worth $5, like altogether. That should have cost $5. I would have just bought those suits. Like that
Yeah.
that doesn't say a lot about the way they're doing it. I don't know. That was my final complaint though. That irritated me. I was like, because I didn't buy the deluxe edition, I figured it would be cheaper by the time of launch to just get them separate, and I was way wrong.
Nope.
So yeah,
Yeah. I think for the price, like even just the standard version, I don't think
it's
it's
way
worth.
too much.
It's yeah. I don't think it's worth its full price tag. But in I guess we should get into final thoughts because like I mean I enjoyed my time with it, my very
Yeah.
brief time with it, but there is a lot that needs to be improved. Like I think
Yeah.
I could see a whole number of patches coming in the coming months, and you
Oh,
know,
surely.
hopefully yeah, we get a better experience online.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um.
I think mechanically it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the RPG elements. Um, yeah, and I mean, I can't really say much since I haven't really played a whole lot, but like just that initial hour or so was
Yeah.
enjoyable, but it was like really hard to grasp.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I enjoyed my playthrough. I felt the story was disjointed because of the RPG elements. It's like just when I think I'm getting roped in, I have to go level up, and it takes a hell of a long time
yeah,
to do so. So, and that's not to say that I had a bad time, but it just kind of disconnected me from the overall scope of the game. I think they did a great job for certain set pieces of the game. I think, like, you can tell they really love what they're doing, but I wish the execution was a little bit better.
mm-hmm.
And I think that at this point, I would rather just see another Arkham game, honestly, if I'm being 100% real.
I feel the
Like,
same way.
like I don't need a sequel to this game. Like, the ending of the game didn't do enough. It just did, and I didn't like the ending at all. By the way, I almost hate it, but
Mm.
overall as an experience, I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. That's where I'm sitting at right now, and hopefully in the future we get patches and free content because this game, if people aren't buying it like this, they sure as hell better give us free DLC.
Yeah.
Even though knowing WB, they won't.
Yeah, like even just like some more characters and some more costumes, like just something to keep the longevity going. Maybe tweak some gameplay elements, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't imagine
Maybe a
this
new,
will.
maybe. No, go ahead.
I don't imagine this game will have a long shelf life, but like
No, me
hopefully
neither.
they do something worthwhile with that that shelf. Like
It's a shame because you and I remember talking about it when the first trailer came out at DC Fandom, and it was so exciting. Everybody was looking forward to it, and then it kind of just it didn't fill up the expectations
No.
that we were hoping for. Not, and we're not saying it's a bad game. And so, as someone who's played through it all, it's not a bad game. It's just not a great game. And it's a good game, mildly good. Just judging with the subject material that we're dealing with.
Yeah. If I were you, I'd just wait for a price drop. Like, at least wait for, like, if it drops down to like $30, then go for it.
All right. Yeah. Which is sad to say. I wish I could say that it was worth $70. Like, we got a whole experience out of it, but it just sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it's
no.
just, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got a AAA superhero game that didn't do well.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but
that is such a shame.
But we have a couple great DC games, hopefully, that are coming in the near future. Particularly, I'm looking at Wonder Woman. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is looking to be really good. I hope Suicide Squad is like really good.
I think I'll like it. I'm just not super excited about it right now. The more I look at the Justice League aspect, the more excited I am. But if I look at it from purely a Suicide Squad standpoint, I'm not that excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, guys, I love the Justice League, and I love DC heroes. I think the Suicide Squad has been way overused in the last 7 to 8 years. Just shoving it down our throats at this point.
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, that's going to be it for this first impressions. I want to thank Swfte for joining me.
Thank you for having
since
me.
he actually bought a copy of the game to talk about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get everyone together by the time we review this, which who knows when that'll come out, but I'm sure it'll happen in the near future.
I'm hoping.
Just start writing that script now.
Yeah.
As far as what's coming up next, I got some videos down in the pipeline, some new stuff and some older things to try out. And yeah, what about you? Why don't you tell the audience what you're up to as far as videos and just life, I guess?
Have not been really posting much on my channel. I just don't have anything to talk about. Gotham Knights, I could make a video on it, but I'd just be restating what I said in this video. So I'm not going to. Yeah, that's really it. I'm doing a podcast with AJ from the Speaking Nerd podcast, so you can check that out. It's called the AJ Tour, and hopefully we'll be recording some more episodes of that. And yeah, that's really all I have going on.
Yeah, the first episode just came out recently, and it is really good. If you want something to just listen to and hang out, just chillax with, I think it's a really good first episode.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on it.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone listening, including Marvel. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I would listen to it. But yeah. Have a great night, everyone. Like, comment, you know the drill. And we'll see you with more superhero game stuff, I guess. Anyway, take care.